Hello there, Capricorn. How are you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful day. So I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. And today we are going to be doing your March into April 2022 Tarot Love Reading. So we'll take a look at the overall energies with the Oracle cards, and then we'll move to the Tarot for more details. And if you're enjoying the content that I create or resonating with the message, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider commenting, or subscribing. It does help to get my message out to more people. And there'll also be an extended for this video, so if you're resonating with the message and you want to check that out, the link will be in the description box. Okay, so let's get into your reading. Time to go. Now, Capricorn, it's so interesting because you have had this energy in your love readings lately about, toying with the idea of something coming back into your life. Someone, that you've separated from. Fresh start. So let's go ahead and figure this out. So have you decided to move on with this time to go, or let's figure this out? What do we have? Travel, soulmate, pause, big goals. Okay, so the energy that I'm getting is that, your true soulmate, and this could be the person that keeps coming up in your readings in the past. That there is this energy that this person is a true soulmate. Are they the romantic partner for you for the rest of your life? I think you're still trying to figure that out. Some of you might actually be traveling to see this person. And I think it's interesting because we have the time to go. It's almost like I'm getting the message. It's time to go visit them. Really interesting. And then we have pause, because I feel like the energy in the situation is on pause. Okay, but think about what pause means. It means it's not over, right? It's just on pause. So, even like this video, if you're sitting there and then all of a sudden you want to go get another cup of coffee or something, right? You put it on pause, you walk away, and then you come back. And it's that type of energy. It's kind of like, yeah, we put this connection on pause, but there is this energy of, is there something here that can be saved? So let's see what else we have here. Soulmate. It is safe for you to love and trust. Oh my goodness. And playfulness. Yeah, I feel like, this is a connection. I mean, you have the soulmate card twice. This is a connection that is, hard to deny. Even if you do travel and go and move away and leave it and everything else, this person is in your aura, and it's safe to trust. It's safe to love, which, at some point in the past, you may have felt, no, it's this person isn't safe to love for one reason or another. And then you have playfulness here, heart-to-heart conversations. I feel like for some of you, you're going to go on vacation with this person. I really get that, like getting away, like time to go, getting away from the everyday doldrums of life. And once again, this person could live at a distance from you. So maybe you meet somewhere in the middle, right? But it's kind of like this energy of let's get away. Let's get away from our everyday lives. Go have some fun and have a conversation. And then underneath there, forgiving and learning. I feel like there is a lot of learning to be done out of this connection, whether you decide to completely reunite or not. It's like even having that heart-to-heart conversation about what went on in your your relationship, not just about the weather, it's not, okay, they're also saying it's not about like, oh, what are you up to these days? It's a heart-to-heart conversation about what happened in your relationship. Because even if you decide not to reunite with this person, there's something there for you to gain out of that conversation. And there is obviously a lot of love in this conversation. I mean, in this connection. So it could be that you could reconcile. Okay, so let's go to the tarot. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so this is your present energy. It's the Moon card. It's an indication that it's your fears that are holding you back from this connection. You know, there's also a sense of divine timing being played out in this situation. So like if you hear from this person or something like that, that is the divine is trying to bring the two of you back together. If for no other reason than to have this heart-to-heart conversation, because there is something about forgiving and learning in the situation. You know, and forgiving does not mean that you're condoning the actions of somebody else. It's about clearing out this energy by having those conversations that where you're expressing your feelings, your emotions about what happened. There's a sense that I feel like the person that you're dealing with may not really know how you feel. Like a sense, I get the sense that you may have held back your true feelings. You may have been talking about some of the issues in your relationship, but you weren't perhaps able to completely communicate your feelings and emotions about those issues. And it could be because the person that you were dealing with was kind of like closed off, didn't want to hear that for one reason or another. But that's why I feel like that conversation, the conversation between the two of you is important so that both of you can learn from this connection. We have the Four of Cups on the bottom. The Four of Cups indicates that, you know, your life is on hold in a way until you can gather this information, have this conversation, do something about this connection, whatever that is. So let's go ahead and see what is your obstacle right here. Yeah. So with the King of Cups, this is an energy. This is your obstacle. This is what is blocking this connection or blocking you from being able to move on from this connection. The King of Cups can master their emotions. So if you look at his torso down in here, there's sharks. That indicates the fear that we all have, right? The fear is underneath. And see, you have the Moon card. So the fears are showing up. This connection may be triggering some fears that you have. Fears from previous relationships, fears from childhood, fears from past lives. Now the King of Cups learns how to navigate the sea of emotions without capsizing the boat or having it, you know, rock wildly from side to side, right? The King of Cups can navigate those emotions because they don't allow he doesn't allow, gender doesn't matter, but he doesn't allow his fears to get his emotions too out of whack, if you will. Okay, so you notice that the King of Cups is holding on. It's like the ship here is on a stick. He's holding very, he's balancing the ship. The ship represents our emotions in a way, or how we are navigating the seas of our emotions. And he's able to hold it still. So because this is your block, there's, you know, a possibility that when you have a deep emotional connection talk, this heart-to-heart conversation with this person, that your emotions or their emotions can get out of control. So then you could see, you know, perhaps there's the conversation that starts out nice turns to a rash conversation, you know, where emotions are at play and people could be, you know, extremely upset or crying or, you know, tantrums, that type of thing. I'm not saying that you are Capricorn, but it's kind of like, you know, let's just go think of the extremes, right? So there is this energy that this conversation that you have with this person, there are a lot of fears. There's a lot going on underneath, both for you and the person that you're dealing with. So it's about navigating those emotions, understanding that you have emotions with this situation, but the person that you're dealing with does too. Now you might be saying, but Mary Sue, they show no emotion at all. Well, think about that. When you show no emotion at all, that means that you're blocking your emotions. It's almost like a blockade, in a harbor or something. It's blocking. I don't want to even open up my emotions. So it means that, when we're totally cut off from our emotions, that isn't good either, right? So if you're dealing with somebody that just shows no emotion, that's kind of like the opposite of the rash emotion, but that's also not navigating your emotions. When you completely cut them off, you're not navigating the emotions. So let's see what the advice here is from Spirit. What do we have here? 2 of Cups. Yeah, Capricorn, this is really a soulmate energy here. This is twin flame energy. This is 2 people that are meant to be together. The reason that you're not together is because you're having a difficult time expressing your emotions to each other, having that emotional intimacy with each other. It does not mean that you might have a lot of physical attraction to each other, but the reason that you are being brought together is because you both need to open up to the emotional side of yourself, to be able to express your emotions. And see, this is bringing up a lot of anxiety. It's kind of interesting. You may have no difficulty expressing your emotions to other people in your life, but when it comes to this person, you do. I don't know why they're saying that. It kind of makes sense because I feel like this person is a mirror to you. So when you're really opening your emotions up about this person, to this person, it's almost as if you're talking to yourself. So what it is that you see in this person that you don't like is also an indication of things that you don't like about yourself. I mean, that's what a twin flame connection is, right? And so that's what makes it so difficult, because when you're talking to this person, it's almost, and you're saying, well, when I'm going to go really simple here, when you wouldn't take the garbage out, that hurt my feelings. Okay. And they're like, what's the big deal? So I didn't take out the garbage, I was watching the football game or whatever. I got busy doing something else, so I didn't take out. Why did that hurt your feelings? Well, maybe it's because you had asked them to take it out. And it's not really about the garbage. It's like you have other things you want to ask them for, needs that you have inside of you that are not being met in this connection. But you're in some way, subconsciously, you are thinking, well, if they won't take out the garbage when I ask them to, then if I ask them to, do something that's a lot more intense down deep inside, right? That it's kind of like, well, they won't do that either. It's kind of like this energy. But then on the twin flame side, it's kind of like, well, do you follow through with what you ask yourself to do? Do you commit to yourself? You may be feeling, well, this person won't commit to me, okay? And you're having a hard time, expressing those feelings, because one of the things that you might be seeing in the mirror is, well, I have a hard time keeping commitments to myself. So if I tell myself, I'm going to take the trash out every morning, right? Well, I only took it out 3 days last week. I didn't hold up to my commitment. Now, we're talking about things that are deeper than trash, taking the trash out, right? But there is something here to, keeping commitments to yourself, keeping your own promises to yourself. So if this person, like, they keep coming back with the trash, but it's kind of like, this person promises to take the trash out every day and then they don't take it out. You're kind of like, you're not committed to our relationship because you didn't take the trash out, right? That's what you're thinking. But you're also thinking to yourself, do I keep my own promises to myself? Do I put myself first so that my cup of love is filled before I try to love other people? Really interesting, it's kind of a very spiritual thing. Yeah, look at the sun on the bottom. Lots of joy and abundance in this situation when you realize that the emotions that you both have for each other are just reflections of yourself. And I know, Capricorn, sometimes that sounds a little bit maybe harsh, right? I know when I first started going down that path of what I don't like in somebody else is what I really don't like in myself, it was kind of like, well, that can't be true. I would never be, But then when you start really thinking about it, it's kind of like, okay. But as soon as you open your eyes to it, then there's things, what you can work on, right? Areas that you can work on, and you can look at, well, why is it that I don't keep commitments to myself? What is it? And I think it comes back to your trust. Do you trust yourself enough to make commitments to yourself and then keep them, right? So your outcome is the 7 of Cups. Finding, looking for that clarity, having those conversations. I feel like you may have a conversation with this person which gives you information, but you're kind of like almost confused by it, So we're going to clarify that. 4 of Swords, resting. I feel like what may happen is you actually have this conversation with this person, and then you may need to put a pause on it for a little bit, kind of like process what has been said in that conversation, which is fine. Sometimes, when we have a conversation with somebody, then what we have to do is just take time to process it, say, okay, you say what you want to say, they say what they want to say, and then it's like, okay, let me go think about that for a little bit. But that's progress, right? That's progress for yourself. That's progress for the connection. So let's see what we have here. Yeah. You're sad. You're sad. I think they're sad. I think the two of you are mirroring each other, very much so. So whatever you're feeling, I really think the other person is feeling too. Your fears are holding you back from taking action in this situation. Here you have the Knight of Wands and the 10 of Cups. You know that this is a connection for you. You've stepped into the truth of knowing that. I think they have too. It's just that there's thinking about it, but there's no action in it. There's no stepping into the truth of, you know what, I truly love you and I want you in my life. That is what needs to be said, right? That's what is going on here. And maybe maybe that's not the first thing you say, but it's kind of like, yeah, what do we have here? What can we salvage? I feel like there is in the collective this big energy of reconciliation, of bringing people back together, and maybe that has something to do with the pandemic, where we were kind of isolated from each other or whatever. But there is this sense of what can we do to work it out in the collective. Yeah. It just keeps coming over and over again. Knight of Pentacles. This is taking some time. Yeah, so your obstacle is overcoming your emotions, in the situation with the King of Cups. Trying to navigate your emotions in this without shoving down your emotions, right? Because that's the difficult part. You're sad about this situation. Once again, Capricorn, they're sad about this situation. But the clarity is there. This is a true love connection. This is your soulmate. You know, there's a sense of, well, if I work on this, it's almost like a sense of, I'm not sure I want to work on this, because if I work on this, I think I may have to face some fears that I don't really want to face, or face some truths that I really don't want to face. But I think that there's also an energy of that you have the strength and courage to do so. So let's see. Temperance, 8 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, I don't know. There's no other way to say it. This is taking time to, this is your advice. This is a true soulmate connection. This is somebody you are meant to be with. Now, if it's a narcissist or, you know, an abusive person, okay, you can walk away from that. This is not this message is not resonating with you, right? If you're resonating with this message, then this is an indication that this is the person for you. It's taken you some time for you and this other person to work it out. I feel like there has to be this back and forth, give and take. Remember, you have this forgiving and learning. Like, you know, seriously, this back and forth energy. It's not going to be cleared away overnight. It's having a conversation, sharing some feelings with each other, then perhaps pausing it again, because we have the pause card, saying, okay, I need a moment. I'm going to go process. You go and process, however long that may take. Then you come back and you sit down and you talk about it some more. There's a definite learning in this situation that's going to help you to really learn how to navigate your emotions in the future. Taking action on this, communicating, taking the time and energy to communicate, to act on this connection, because you know that it's such a deep connection. And then the Wheel of Fortune, the blessings turn for you when you put the time and energy into this connection. And it's not about just healing the connection. It's about healing that those inner wounds that you have. This person is on your path to help you open up to your heart chakra, to open up, to look at those wounds, and to do this deep healing within. So let's see what the 7 of Cups is. Yeah, this is, I mean, it's just Page of Pentacles. You're learning as you go. You're learning as you go. So I think it's really interesting because we have the 6 of Cups. So, you know, this is the person, right? You have the sweet moments. These are the nostalgic sweet moments with that person. And then you want to walk away, right? That's this temperance energy, you know, going back and forth, having to work it out. Let's think of it this way with the ship, right? The wave, when the waves come, the emotional waves come, the ship can rock, right? Like crazy, go up and down and up and down. You've probably seen videos of, you know, like those big cargo ships or something out in the middle of the ocean with these huge waves, right? And you're like, how does that thing not capsize, right? I guess me, sometimes they do, but you know, so you're going from this, right? And it's kind of like going back and forth, but every time you go up one wave and then down down the other side, I guess, right? The next wave won't be as big. It's like you have to keep going on this journey of looking within, looking at your emotions, why this person may trigger you so much, what it is about this connection that you are being drawn to. Because look at this, you have the 10 of Pentacles. I mean, this is long-lasting love. This is a connection that lasts the rest of your life, right? And whether you're in a romantic connection with this person or not, even if you decide to walk away, there's an indication that this person, right, will in some way always be with you. Really nice. And, you know, it is, you know, a little bit of that confusion, a little bit of that clarity. But every time you go back and you have a heart-to-heart conversation with this person, when you experience your emotions, share your emotions with this person, really going deep. Okay, not talking about, the weather or whatever, or what they've been up to lately. It's about talking about your connection. Those are the emotions that you need to talk about. And when you do that, it's like every time you have one of those conversations, you're learning how to navigate your own emotions more expertise with more expertise, right? Because the King of Cups is the master of emotions, and that's kind of the lesson that you're learning with this person. Really lovely connection. So let's see what your soul truth card is. And Capricorn, if you're resonating with this in the extended, what we're going to do is take a closer look at the person that you're dealing with, their motivation in this situation, and what they would like to see as the outcome in this relationship. And then we'll look at like their strengths and weaknesses coming into this relationship, advice from spirit, and then the final outcome. So let's see. How can I infuse more self-love and compassion into my daily life? And I really like that, because I feel like whenever we're dealing with our emotions, and specifically somebody that can trigger our emotions, there is a need for truly loving ourselves and being compassionate. And part of your journey here is learning how to love yourself, because remember, this person is like a mirror to you. So when you're talking to this person, it's like you're talking to yourself. So having compassion for that person is also showing some compassion for yourself, but you do need to make sure you're being gentle with yourself. Okay, if your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. And that's a quote from Buddha. So today's soul action, choose one self-care action to do today. Set stronger boundaries, meditate and listen to your heart, speak to yourself with compassion, focus on your strengths, say no to something that isn't a soul yes, and say yes to something you are afraid of. Let go of what you cannot control. And they're pointing out this time to go. It's time to realize you can't control this person. You can't control this situation. This person is on your path for a specific reason, to help you to open up your heart chakra and to start truly loving yourself and loving others in a totally new capacity, because you're gaining more mastery of your emotions. And write down 3 things that you are grateful for. Yes, if you don't keep a gratitude journal, I really do recommend that you do that. It really does. When you're in that area of gratitude, then you can't be in fear. And remember, right now your present energy is fear. And the fear doesn't necessarily have to be with this connection. The fear can be in your life in general or another area of your life. But this fear is also affecting this connection. All right, well, Capricorn, I am going to leave it there. I also do personal readings if you're interested in that. The link is in the description box. But I do wish you so much love and light in this situation and in all your such situations. And please be gentle and compassionate with yourself as you are navigating through this. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.